Do you want more success, more growth, more results? Then it's time for the Boundless Success Accelerator from the Modern Observer Group. This isn't your average coaching program. It's where top performers come to dominate. Weekly group sessions, on-demand coaching, a community that's got your back, and a power-packed library of tools to supercharge your business and career. No more excuses, no more waiting. Get in, level up, and start building the life you've been dreaming about. Visit us at modernobserver.com/boundless success to join today. Let's get you to the next level.
We're here because the news is being distorted. We're here because people are being inundated with misinformation on social media. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Court cases. RFK Jr. faces off with the Senate. McDonald's escalates the war on tipping, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. President Trump called upon European leaders to stop funding Russian President Vladimir Putin's war in Ukraine and accused them of failing to pressure China. In a statement following a call between Trump, Ukrainian President Zelensky, and European leaders who met in Paris for a Coalition of the Willing summit, a White House official said President Trump emphasized that Europe must stop purchasing Russian oil that is funding the war, as Russia received 1.1 billion euros, nearly $1.3 billion in fuel sales from the EU in 1 year. The president also emphasized that European leaders must place economic pressure on China for funding Russia's war efforts, the official added. The Department of Justice brought a lawsuit Thursday against Boston over allegations the city's policies shield illegal immigrants from federal authorities, marking an escalation in the Trump administration's fight with the Democratic stronghold. The DOJ named Boston Mayor Michelle Wu and the city's police commissioner in the lawsuit and zeroed in on the Boston Trust Act, a law that prevents local police from cooperating with certain requests from federal immigration authorities. Wu's resistance endangers public safety, resulting in a number of criminals being released into Boston who should have been held for immigration removal from the United States, DOJ attorneys said in the complaint. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was criticized by members of both political parties in a deeply contentious Senate Finance Committee hearing yesterday. Senators probed Kennedy's vaccine policies, arguing he lied during his confirmation hearings when he said he wouldn't disrupt access to them. They also questioned the recent upheaval of the CDC and his firing of Director Susan Menarez. Democrats called for Kennedy's resignation, while Republican Bill Cassidy, a doctor who originally voted to confirm the secretary, accused him of denying Americans access to vaccines. During the hearing, Kennedy, a longtime vaccine skeptic, said he did not trust data that shows COVID-19 vaccines saved millions of lives and repeated debunked claims that mRNA vaccines cause serious harm, including death. Last month, Kennedy canceled $500 million in funding for mRNA research. A federal judge on Wednesday ruled that the Trump administration's freeze of $2.2 billion in grant funds for Harvard University over concerns about anti-Semitism on campus and other issues was illegal, calling it a targeted, ideologically motivated assault on this country's premier universities. Judge Allison Burroughs agreed with Harvard's arguments that the administration imposed the funding freeze in retaliation for the Ivy League universities refusal to capitulate to demands for reforms that violated First Amendment protections under the Constitution. Burroughs' ruling in U.S. District Court in Massachusetts vacates freezing orders affecting Harvard and bars anyone in the Trump administration from enforcing those orders. The White House said it would appeal the decision. A federal appeals court panel on Thursday put a hold on lower court judges' order to end operations indefinitely at the Immigration Detention Center in the Florida Everglades, dubbed Alligator Alcatraz. The three-judge panel in Atlanta decided by a 2-to-1 vote to stay the federal judge's order pending the outcome of an appeal, saying it was in the public interest. The ruling will allow the facility to continue holding detainees for the time being. U.S. District Judge Kathleen Williams in Miami issued a preliminary injunction last month ordering operations at the facility to be wound down by the end of October, with detainees transferred to other facilities and equipment and fencing removed. Warner Brothers Discovery is suing a prominent artificial intelligence image generator for copyright infringement, escalating a high-stakes battle involving the use of movies and TV shows owned by major studios to teach AI systems. The lawsuit accuses Midjourney, which has millions of registered users, of building its business around the mass theft of content. The company brazenly dispenses Warner Brothers Discovery's intellectual property by letting subscribers produce images and videos of iconic copyrighted characters, alleges the complaint, filed on Thursday in California federal court. The heart of what we do is develop stories and characters to entertain our audiences, bringing to life the vision and passion of our creative partners, said a Warner Brothers Discovery spokesperson in a statement. Midjourney is blatantly and purposefully infringing copyrighted works, and we filed this suit to protect our content, our partners, and our investments. Warner Brothers Discovery joins Disney and Universal, which earlier this year teamed up to sue Midjourney. By their thinking, the AI company is a free rider plagiarizing their movies and TV shows. McDonald's is escalating the food industry's tipping debate. The fast food giant exited the National Restaurant Association on the same day its CEO, Chris Kempczynski, came out against tip wage rules, which allow some restaurants to pay workers below the minimum wage. There's an uneven playing field, Kempczynski said in an interview on CNBC. If you are a restaurant that allows tips or has tips as part of your equation, you're essentially getting the customer to pay for your labor. As a fast food chain, McDonald's doesn't qualify for tipped wages, but sit-down establishments like Chili's do, saving them labor costs. In a statement, the National Restaurant Association said McDonald's ended its membership due to a policy difference. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.